Call to order this meeting of the Maine Township Board. May I please have a roll call?
Assessor Cryer.
Here.
Highway Commissioner Dubay. Here. Clerk Giolab is here. Supervisor Diamond.
Here.
Trustee Jones.
Here.
Trustee Horvath.
Here.
Trustee Maher.
Here.
Trustee Lee.
Okay, we will stand for the Pledge of Allegiance.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you. May I have a motion to approve the minutes of the February 22nd bill pay review?
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes of the February 22nd, 2022 bill pay review.
Second?
Second.
Are there any comments, questions? Okay, all right. Roll call?
Supervisor Diamond.
Yes?
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Horvath.
Yes.
Trustee Maher.
Yes.
Trustee Lee.
Yes.
I have approval, motion to approve the minutes of February 22nd, 2022 board meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes of the February 22nd, 2022 board meeting.
Second.
Any questions or comments regarding them?
Supervisor Diamond.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Horvath.
Yes.
Trustee Maher.
Yes.
Trustee Lee.
Yes.
I have a motion to approve the minutes of the March 8th, 2022 road district budget hearing.
I'll make a motion for the approval of the minutes of the March 8th, 2022 road district budget hearing. Second.
Any questions or comments?
Supervisor Diamond.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Horvath.
Yes.
Trustee Maher.
Yes.
Trustee Lee.
Yes.
I have a motion to approve the minutes of the March 8th, 2022 special board meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes of the March 8th, 2022 special board meeting.
Second.
Any questions or comments on them?
Supervisor Diamond.
Yes.
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Horvath.
Yes.
Trustee Maher.
Yes.
Trustee Lee.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. Now if I may receive a motion to approve the general assistance expenditures. Do I have such a motion?
Motion to approve payroll for pay dates of March 4, 2022 and the March 18, 2022 and general assistance checks 53967 through check 54024 in the amount of $39,940.10.
Second motion.
Any questions or comments about that? Roll call, please.
Supervisor Diamond.
Yes?
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Horvath.
Yes.
Trustee Maher.
Yes.
Trustee Lee.
Yes.
And I have a motion to approve the road district expenditures.
I'll make a motion to approve payroll for pay dates of March 4th, 2022 and March 18th, 2022, and road district checks number 22305 through check number 22336 in the amount of $81,712.33.
Second.
Second, all right. Any questions or comments? Welcome.
Supervisor Diamond.
Yes?
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Horvath.
Yes.
Trustee Maher.
Yes.
Trustee Lee.
Yes.
All right, thank you very much. I think we've done those all.
No, we've done the last three.
Okay, great, one more. Maybe a motion to approve the general town fund expenditures.
I'll make a motion to approve the payroll for pay dates of March 4th, 2022 and March 18th, 2022 and general town fund checks number 59303 through check number 59374 in the amount of $299,531.11.
Second.
Any questions or comments on that? Roll call?
Supervisor Diamond.
Yes?
Trustee Jones.
Yes.
Trustee Horvath.
Yes.
Trustee Maher.
Yes.
Trustee Lee.
Yes.
Okay, thank very much. Next section of our agenda is public participation. John Bennett. John, would you like to come up to the microphone? John, I should remind you, we don't have public participation very often, but public participation is limited to 5 minutes. So you're welcome to say whatever you'd like during that time.
John?
Yeah. So first off, I'm here for an agenda item. So other bodies that I've presented to before, you would allow the public participation during the agenda item. So I don't know if you want me to talk now or you want me to talk when it comes time for the item.
Why don't you go ahead and talk now?
Okay. So in case you guys forgot who I am, my name is John Bennett. I'm the former director of the Office of Emergency Management for Maine Township. I reviewed the video of the special meeting where there was a discussion, an agenda item for the Office of Emergency Management. And there were some questions from the trustees and from the Highway Commissioner that District Chief Mike Brock, who spoke that night, and Administrator Berman wasn't able to answer. So I'm here to provide answers, provide you a little bit of insight of what the Office of Emergency Management is and what they're capable of doing. So the primary purpose of the Office of Emergency Management is to prepare for emergent disasters that may affect the township. Prepare for disasters. Disaster preparedness. The OEM program is a support organization to the first responders that serve our township, like the North Maine Fire Protection District, Cook County Sheriff, Illinois State Police, and the Maine Township Highway Department. Excuse me. While the primary area of concern is in the unincorporated areas of Maine Township, OEM has had cooperative agreements in place to provide assistance to the surrounding municipalities if called upon. In the event of a disaster or emergency event in Maine Township, OEM would act as a liaison between these organizations and township personnel. OEM is developed and is the primary agency responsible for the upkeep and maintenance of the Maine Township Emergency Operation Plan. The Emergency Operation Plan addresses the township's response to a variety of scenarios, including flooding, fires, even a pandemic. There's a section in there on how to deal with a pandemic. OEM coordinates and staffs the Emergency Operations Center during a disaster or large-scale emergency operation. When the EOC is active, the Emergency Operation Plan assigns responsibility to township departments as well as many other responding agencies. In order to provide these services to the township, the Office of Emergency Management relies upon the services of its volunteer group. These trained volunteers provide additional personnel to complement OEM staff during these events, be they emergencies, training, community events, whatever the need is for OEM, right? The OEM volunteer group has provided staffing and services to the township during the COVID-19 pandemic. They've maintained street closures and crowd control during multiple fires in the township. They've closed streets during a major gas leak in the township, provided surveillance for down power lines and cleared snow from around fire hydrants, and provided support to the highway department when sandbags were needed during the biannual flood events that we had. And really what it does is it frees up the first responders, emergency personnel, to be able to respond to their tasks that are more important than sitting on a down wire or sitting at blocking off a street that's flooded. OEM was able to provide those services. And it was primarily volunteer-based. In addition to emergencies, OEM has provided support for community events such as the Pakistani Cultural Day, the Indian Cultural Day, electronic recycling, food pantry, the crop walk, and the Taste of Park Ridge. So community events as well. So.
Just for your information, John, you have 1 minute left.
Cut me off again, thank you.
That's just following our rules, which
I understand. The volunteers have basic training in National Incident Management System, the Incident Command System, First Aid, CPR, AED, Personnel Safety, Traffic Control, Crowd Control, Communications, Weather Spotting, and Disaster Preparedness. There are specialized groups that receive additional training such as Search and Rescue, Ham Radio, Medical Reserve Corps, Logistics, Operations, and Administration. There was a question that one of the trustees had asked about what are the qualities of an emergency management director, what should they have, right? At a minimum, the director should be well-versed in emergency management procedures, the National Incident Management System, and the Incident Command System. And they should be very familiar with the Emergency Operation Plan. The director has many responsibilities that require a skill to be able to coordinate with the many partners in emergency management, and it must have the ability to develop and maintain relationships with these partners in a critical event. The time to develop these relationships is not at the scene, but is prior to the scene, so that they can respond to any event that's necessary. The director needs to be fiscally responsible to both the township and the OEM organization.
John, your 5 minutes is up. Do you want to wind it up?
I've got, maybe half a page left. If you let me finish, I would appreciate it.
All right, but please, I should enforce rules uniformly.
Okay. Being a good steward of taxpayer money is paramount, while understanding that the program cannot function without the financial support of the township. To assist with this task, the director should have the ability to seek and procure grant money. The many challenges an OEM director will face cannot be underestimated. The ability to multitask is a critical quality. The director should be a strong, vocal cheerleader for the program, as well as a respected individual, which is necessary to be included by the first responding agencies. The volunteers look to the director to be an advocate, a safety-conscious and compassionate leader. Anything less than that, and you will not get the respect of the volunteers. Last paragraph. I'm here today because I truly believe the emergency management program and its ability to allow ordinary citizens to be included in emergency response. I've been serving as a volunteer for over 15 years and continue to serve today. I do not want to see this program disbanded, and it's why I agreed to serve as the director of the program. I'm here to answer any questions that you may. But really the big question I have is, if you decide to maintain this program, will you support the program? Thank you very much.
Thank you very
for
much.
the extra time, too. Oh, is there any questions, I guess? That was one of the things I threw out there.
Jen, have any questions?
I think he answered it. You want it to continue. In your opinion, it should be continued.
Absolutely.
That's one of the big questions. This is a very valuable thing.
It's a very valuable program to the community, and it's a very valuable program to individuals that want to serve the community.
I think you have the agreement of the whole board on that.
Yes, sir.
So, John, when you just mentioned that you want to continue this program and you want to work.
Well, I think this program should continue.
Continue. How about you? You say you want to, you say you are working 15 years as a volunteer, so.
I continue to serve my community as a volunteer. I've always done that. It's not going to be contingent on whether you have an OEM program or not. I think there's some issues with the support by the township of the OEM program over the years. This isn't last administration, it goes beyond that. For an example, in 2012, the OEM program had a budget of over $100,000. Right now, the budget is $15,000. You spent more money on this carpeting in this room than you spent in OEM all last year. Right? So, I've been saying it for years that the township does not support OEM. That's one example. There's many other examples. I'm sure you don't want me to get into everything at this point. But if if the conditions were different, I certainly wouldn't work under the same parameters that I worked as the director 6 months ago. That did not work for me nor for the organization.
Okay,
Thank you.
all right.
Okay. Anyone else?
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you for my
Thank you, Joe.
extra time.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, all right. I don't have any other requests for public participation, so we'll go on to old business. The first one is just an update from Community Solar. I received an email from Scott Becker, Director of Marketing. He says that tomorrow or the next day, postcards are expected to be sent out to about 30,000 Maine Township homes regarding their solar program. So we'll see if we get those. The next thing on the agenda is the rebranding of the Township's logo, color, and general theme. So I want to turn this over to Kelly. Do you want to talk about this? Or Marty? Usually Robert would talk. Are one of you prepared to say a few things about this?
I don't know how to get that pulled up, but we recently went ahead and created some things for Facebook, and I don't know if any of you have had a chance to look at our Facebook page, but we sort of have refreshed it, and I wanted you guys to be able to see just sort of what we looked at last time and what that sort of looks like being implemented, and what that would sort of look like if we were to continue using that. So.
Do you want to go to Facebook page?
Yeah, if you
All
could,
right,
that would
sure.
be great, if you could go to Maine Township. Because that's the only place I think we have it right now, so. Okay, so there you can see, kind of, not the best way to view it, but so I had created a header for Facebook, so when you go to it, it has the picture of the building in the background, and then you can see like the circular logo. So when you're looking at it on your phone, it's going to be pretty small, but it's easily readable.
Okay, all right. Now we have a LinkedIn page now. I'm not sure if that's up and running. I think
Yeah, I don't
Robert
think
was
so.
looking at this, looking at doing that, but I don't know they actually finished it.
It is not up and running.
No, not yet, okay.
So, and I'm working on basically taking a similar sort of cover and putting that on the YouTube page as well. So we're working on that. And then I can do that for LinkedIn too. So, but this is just a way for you to kind of see it in action and how we can still incorporate things like the building and you know, into a place where it just looks more professional and
It looks pretty clean.
yeah. So I just wanted everybody to see that.
Thank you. Thanks for your work on that. So you're going to be working on the YouTube one now?
Yes.
And then maybe LinkedIn after that?
Yes, YouTube and LinkedIn, and then hopefully the newsletter and the
Okay.
website.
All right. Our next newsletter would probably be going out late May, early June? Early June? Okay. So just keep that deadline. in mind.
Okay, yeah, Robert was getting the specs on the header art from the graphic designer. So.
Okay, all right. Anything else you need, Kelly, to continue working on this?
I don't think so. I just wanted to, let everybody see how it was being used and
Okay. All right.
Think about it.
Quick question. It seems like there's another Maine Township Facebook page. Do we know how that one came about, or how we can take that one down so we only have the two of them?
Oscar website.
No,
I can answer that. I think what you're seeing, Pete, is because the township hasn't had a Facebook page for so long, people were checking into Facebook on Maine Township, checking into Maine Township on Facebook. And because of that, the analytics are such that it created its own page there when you search Maine Township Facebook on Google. But as soon as our real official page gets more likes and followers, that should go away. People should stop seeing that. Other than that, I don't know why there would be an official page created other than somebody from the township could have created that at some point in time. But, that's before I was serious.
Okay, that was it.
Okay.
Thank you.
That's something I think I also wondered.
Yeah, because it has like, I think Viatia has your email
Email,
address
yeah.
as the contact info for it.
Yeah, it does. It has the address that has the, but it's weird because for the website, it lists the Maine Township School District.
Yeah,
It's got the Maine207.org website.
you're probably right, Marty, that it just defaulted.
I don't have any other realistic explanation for it other than somebody created it and then nothing happened with it.
Yeah, well, there might be a way to report it to like be removed, so we can look into that.
Yeah.
Because it's got 117 followers, so we can get them to come over to us.
Okay, I mean,
I don't know.
I think somehow or other make them.
Most of them
the
think
real-
they are with us.
Yeah,
They don't know, right, necessarily, they're
Yeah.
confused.
we'll figure it out. So,
Okay. All right.
yes.
Okay, anything else, Connie?
No.
All right. Marty, I think nothing else, right?
I have nothing else on
Okay.
this.
All right, fine. All right, the next item that we have is discussion of our website improvements. So, as you may recall, at our special meeting 2 weeks ago, we discussed adopting a new website and probably sending requests for proposals out to various designers to design a new webpage for us. But we decided the first thing we needed was to figure out what we wanted on that website. So I asked the staff for their wish list of what they'd like to have in website design, and apparently I thought this was Christmas because I got some very long list here of single pages, of multiple things that they would like. So I think you all have that at your place now. And I think what we need to do is maybe go through this, and I'm not even sure what some of these things are. There may be important things, I just don't know what exactly these items are.
Yeah.
And maybe narrow this down a little bit. What I think we might want to do is put them into a category of things that we absolutely need and things that would be nice if they don't cost too much more. But I don't know what those things are. I don't know how they fit in those categories. So I was wondering if anyone would like to volunteer to look at this, to help perhaps Rich.
Yeah,
work on that,
I would
and
go through
Kelly.
it. Yeah, and
Anyone else like to look at this list and try and categorize them according to what are really important things for our website and what are things that would be more optional?
Well, I think some of these things might be a little, not redundant, but there might be some things that overlap, and also there are things in here that if you're hiring a web designer who's going to make a good responsive web page, some of these things will sort of inherently be in that design, like in terms of, like printer-friendly pages and things that make it easy to operate, and so I think some of that will be sort of inherent with the design, so they might not need to specifically be called out, but.
All right. Well, I'll ask you and Rich to sort of communicate back and forth and just create things that we absolutely need or things that you would expect in any event, and then maybe some things that would be more difficult and more expensive to add on. And then perhaps the quotes that we can get would be for the basics and what it would cost them to add some of the additional, more expensive features.
Okay.
Is that something that you would be willing and able to do?
Yeah, we can do that. I think once we have like that list, because I'd already talked to some designers, but they wanted to see a list of like, well, what do you want? Because they can't really give a quote without that. So I think once we have it, then we can send it around to people and get some quotes. But
Does the board want to look at that list again before it goes out?
I mean, I could email it to everybody individually, just so they can see it.
Okay,
Um,
but why don't you send it to me and I'll
Okay.
circulate it? And because I'd sort of like to get it out to potential designers.
Okay,
And our
yes.
next regular meeting won't be for a month. We will have the annual town meeting in a couple of weeks, but we don't really have an agenda to talk about any regular business. It's going to be a special meeting, yes.
Can I add some things on the list?
What do you want to
The
add?
list is already typed out.
No.
I would like to see something on the website where trustees like me can easily get access to my email messages. An easy, fast way to do that, if that's possible.
Well, there may be,
Maybe a drop-down menu that says,
okay, we'll look into that.
Is it
Right.
Jim's email?
Yeah,
well, not
that's
necessarily.
definitely good.
No, because then they'll hang me from a tree because I put my name on there.
I'm just teasing.
No, just that was my difficulty. Other than that, I like the website.
Okay, all right. That's fine.
No other criticism.
Any other suggestions?
Pretty inclusive.
Okay, all right, fine. All right, we'll move on then. Next is discussion of the Metropolitan Water Reclamation District project. And we did get a draft intergovernmental agreement, just I think it was yesterday, from Kurt's firm. And I've taken a look at it, and Ed, did you want to address it too? You're looking at it too, is that right?
Yeah, I'm still looking at it.
And I think you might be an engineer to look at it also? All right, so we are moving along with that, and we hope to get it back with any suggestions to your firm, Kurt. And then you'll be working with the attorney for Metropolitan Water Reclamation District, is that right?
Yes.
Okay, so it's moving along, well, we're getting there. All right, okay. The next item on the agenda is discussion of OEM, and I put this on here because I understood a couple of members would like to discuss it, so I wanted to give anyone who wanted to talk any further about OEM a chance to do that. So I throw it open for discussion now.
So I guess one thing I like is that a concern that I had was the budget. And that was, one reason why it's hard to find somebody for the position. It's hard to retain somebody for the position if we don't have a budget that supports it. So I'm at least glad to see that in the budget that we just voted on, that is being doubled currently. So I think that that's a step in the right direction. So hopefully we can, continue to figure out how we're going to expand this and continue to support it. So.
Okay. Jim, you want to say something?
Sure. One of the consistent themes I think I keep hearing and seeing is that prior boards apparently were restricting our spending in many ways, keeping employees' salaries down, not spending money on things in the hope that taxpayers are going to save money. I don't see any evidence that the township is helped by that policy. And you've shown us statistics on the budgets in the past and how realistically we're spending money on terms years ago, 8 or 10 years ago. So I think this Office of Emergency Management is a good example of that, a department that has value and that's not getting a lot of money to a program that does help. And I think there's pretty good evidence that it does help. And so I just would encourage us to keep thinking along those lines, to give money to the departments that help the township and that help the people of the township. The departments that make a difference, and we all know what they are, I think. And
Okay.
so that would be my only comment.
Okay.
And I think it's good that we're talking about it, and at least it's higher than in the past. And so what John mentioned, $15,000, it's gone up, it doubled. So at least that's a positive. Maybe not a solution, but a positive, obviously. So thanks.
Any other comments from other elected officials or questions or anything?
The only thing I would like to add to that is that, having been here at the township for many years, I have seen the positive effects that OEM has had when we have had flooding issues. They've always been very responsive in helping the township, help the residents. They've been at a lot of the different things we've done. They've always been a great help in National Night Out that we've had. So, my personal belief is that there is value to the organization, and I do think it's something that we should continue to support and help grow and bring back to what it was.
Okay, all right,
Yeah, I like all that.
okay, all right, great. Anything else?
I just want to thank John for his input, and also the main thing that I wanted to discuss with this, it's already been discussed, is does the board support it? And I'm happy that the board has supported this program, because the highway department relies heavily on past volunteers and directors in the past, and especially with spring coming up, it's going to get, with the weather conditions, patterns changing for the worse, we're going to need as many people as we can. So.
All right, okay. Any other, Asif?
I have a question. So John said he was working as a 15-year, voluntarily.
Mhm.
So I know maybe he's not, I'm going to ask him the reason, why he left. So is it, like the board has no objection, can I see him separately and ask him what the reason he left? If the board has no objection?
You can always talk with someone you want
Okay,
to.
thank you.
But not right during the meeting. We're not,
Because he's here, so I can ask him.
well,
So what the reason is he left,
you could ask them before the meeting if you wanted to, but we don't stop the meeting for one person to go to talk.
Stop the meeting, he's still there.
I'd be more than willing to give you my phone number and you can
Okay.
contact me tomorrow or.
Sure, that's
Yeah,
that's
because we
fine,
are going to
absolutely.
discuss this OEM and he has experience last 15 years, when he was working as a volunteer. So we want to know more about that, what he was doing it. And we need somebody experienced, who can run this department. But that's the reason I want to see him, because I don't have experience in OEM.
I think John's offered
Yeah.
to talk with you.
I'd be more than willing to. Any of you guys, if you want to talk.
Okay, thank you
One
very
thing I
much.
do is like to talk.
We won't cut you off.
But don't give me the
I
5 minutes.
won't anyway. I can't say.
Okay, all right. Okay, with respect to OEM, I did want to say a few things too. The trustees confirmed not only at this meeting, but at the prior meeting, that they did want to maintain the OEM department. And Chief Brown was very interesting to listen to last time. He advised us what type of person you needed. He said a good communicator. What skills do you need? He said you need a people person. Someone who could enlist volunteers from high school, community college, reassemble those who had previously volunteered to help out, as John Bennett has said, help out the Niles, Maine Fire Department, local police departments, handle emergencies, and do things like traffic control so that the police department and fire department don't have to do things like that. And also, very importantly, help out the road and bridge too, particularly when we get into the flood station. I know that's something that's of great interest to them. And so I do think we want to bring someone on board as soon as possible. Unfortunately, we had tried for months to attract outside applicants. We, of course, had put it on our own website, notified our own staff, notified most of the previous volunteers, asking them if they were interested. It was on Indeed for 3 months at least. It's still on our website, but we did not receive any applicants with any relevant skills. But then, I think it has occurred to us that we have someone here on our own staff who is very familiar with the road and bridge staff, who is very familiar with the OEM building and its equipment, who is very familiar with Maine Township itself, who knows Maine Township like the back of his hand because he worked code enforcement for many years, driving up and down the streets of Maine Township, and who knows how to handle all types of problems that come up in Maine Township, and who has been a consistent volunteer for Mountain Townships all along. And that is Mike Salmon, who's right here tonight. And I think one reason that we can solve our problem, we found it very difficult to hire someone for a 10-hour-a-week position. It just wasn't a position that was really attractive to a lot of people. But Mike has said that he's willing to serve as our director. And I've in turn have said that I will ask the board to support hiring a part-time custodian up to 19 hours a week. I'm not sure if we'll do the full 19 hours, but up to that many, to give him a break so that he can spend some more time devoting his work to OEM. And that way we'll be able to cover that position. And Mike said he's interested in going to some OEM training too. So I think that will allow us to expand Mike's skills to OEM and to take care of a position that we unfortunately were not able to fill for many months. I think that's the way that I'd like to go, and I'd like to know if, I think this is something that generally administration just fill these positions, but I'd like to know if I can get some support from the rest of the board. Can I have a motion to appoint Mike Salmon as our OEM director?
Motion to appoint Mike Salmon as the OEM director.
Second?
Can we discuss it?
Oh,
yeah,
well,
Can I
technically,
make a motion and then discuss it? or-
we actually, one should get a motion on the table before discussing technically, but,
Second.
second.
Yeah, okay, I second.
Okay,
I guess I had a chance to talk to Mike about this, and, he was interested. My one hesitation is just the training that he would need to do, and I guess I'm wondering if there would be any thoughts, if people would feel, how they would feel about maybe doing something where it's sort of like a 6-month, like we revisit in 6 months, like have him do this, and then in 6 months see, how it's going, kind of check in and see if it's, I just don't want him to feel overwhelmed. I don't want him to feel like he is taking on all this extra stuff, and that it is a position that he feels comfortable with. So that's just my one thought, is that I would feel more comfortable doing something like that and see if he is somebody that, enjoys doing it. But I don't want it to be empty.
Yeah.
It's been empty for 8 months, so I don't want it to just continue to sit empty. And if we have somebody who's interested, then we can have him fill that position, but we can at least, I don't want him to feel like he's stuck now.
Well, I certainly would say that if for some reason or other Mike said, I really don't like this job after a while, this additional job, if he decided he no longer wants to hold that responsibility, we would not hold it against him. I think I can say that.
I might. No, I'm just
It's fine, or for some other reason.
I think I would certainly be accepting the fact he said, no, I've had it with this. This is not my cup of tea, or whatever. So we were in the question or comment stage.
Because this budget, which one is say emergency management, $31,450, does this cover his salary? This one?
No, we're offering a stipend in addition to Mike's salary, as we do for a couple of other chiefs here. And that would be for extra supplies, equipment. Many of us have been over to the OEM building and have seen the state of the vehicles over there. They may need some work, I think. So that would cover various costs. Any questions from the Senate table? Jim, did you want to say something?
Yeah, I just had a few comments. I think we're moving very quickly on this, Karen. We have a person like John who's had 15 years of experience running this department, and then suddenly we don't. And now we're moving really quickly to replace his role there. And Mike's a great employee, and he's doing a great job, of course. But I don't know if we made enough of an effort to find someone who might fit better for that particular job. But obviously not against Mike if he wants to take that on. He's already, I would imagine, pretty busy with what he's got. So that's my only thing. We're moving very quickly.
Well,
so that's my only.
I mean, the position's been open since August, I think. And so I don't think we're moving real quickly.
What efforts are we making?
And in fact, I sort of thought we were being criticized for not moving faster.
Oh,
not
I see.
doing something.
So you
faster.
can't win. We can't win. We take our time. We get criticized. We go too fast. We get criticized.
Yeah, so,
That sounds like some classes I had. Okay. So anyway, that's just my thought, that we might be patient and think it through. But you're right, if it's been open since August, I wasn't aware of that or the circumstances for John leaving.
Yeah.
So I'm not aware of any of that, so I'm kind of like blind. But I just think we should be cautious and try to fill the roles so we have, a department that we can continue to be proud of. And we all agree it's helpful, so. And Mike is the guy for the job and he wants to do it. Is that okay with you?
I think personally, if I can just say something real quick, I think it's a matter too of what this board is looking for the position. If the board is looking for things that John mentioned up there tonight, I might not be someone that's going to be the most qualified or experienced at all. I mean, I don't have that. I can't sit there and actually say that I have that experience for you. If you're looking, as I mentioned before, in terms of like traffic control, there's a down wire, or the fire department or something like that. There's a fire and it's on a major street, and some traffic control, yes. But if we're talking about some of like the other aspects of it, I'd be the first to admit I don't have those credentials to it. So I'm going to put that out there to the entire board tonight, to know what I would bring to the table and know what I'm not going to bring to the table right away. And I mean, that's what I can really say in terms of me taking the job, like what's going on in my head.
I think one of the things we look forward to doing is trying to get more volunteers from the high school and community college. And I think that's something that we said we would definitely want to work on in terms of particularly for flood control. I think that's something of interest. I'm sure, not all the OEM departments are the same and they don't all have the same strengths. And in fact, I think what we've heard from Kurt before is that most townships don't even have an OEM department. And so I think that, we can make it what we want it to be and decide what the greatest need is.
Right.
So
that's my take on it, just being completely just open and honest with everyone. That's how I would kind of do it. I mean, I'm not gonna, like I said, I'm not, in terms of like any of the things that John said up there with all that experience. I mean, no, of course everyone knows that I don't have that, but what I can go ahead and do, like I mentioned, yeah, I can go out there direction. I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I'm waiting for you.
No, that's what I'm saying. Like, I mean, those are the things that I can bring to the table. But like some of the things that was mentioned tonight from John up there, no. I mean, like Michael Brock was at the last meeting basically saying how it is something about freeing up the fire department. Yes, I can free up the fire department. Go out there if there's a down wire. Go out there if there's a fire. It is just a matter to me what the board's expectations are for that position. And as Karen, as you just mentioned, I mean, it's what the board wants to make of it. But that's what I can bring to the table right off the bat.
okay.
So.
Yes, I think Kim, you had your hand up, didn't you?
So, Mike, I appreciate that. I also appreciate you, of course, you always do, stepping up and helping the township in any way you can. Listening to Jim and to Kelly's reservations, maybe a 6-month trial wouldn't be bad for you and for the townships. It's not a bad idea. See if you like it, if you feel comfortable in the position, and then we can revisit it if we want to.
Right. Yeah, it's
So that you don't feel like overwhelmed, or that you just don't want to say no.
No, I mean, it is one of those things where it was like, as we mentioned before on the topic of it, it's been vacant for 8 months. And it's a long time with no one in there, and I know that there's a need for it. I don't mind to go ahead and give it a shot and see if it is something that's a possible connection between the township and myself. But again, it's the expectations of it. With all due respect, I'm not someone that's going to be with like search and rescue and things like that, and I just don't have that experience. So those are just some things that the board, it's something to think about. And like I said, I know I keep saying the same thing, but it's a matter of the expectations of what the board is looking for with it.
Okay, and I think we're willing to send Mike to any training he might want to go to too. Would that be correct?
Yes,
Okay.
definitely.
Okay. All right. Okay, fine. So, let's see, you made the motion, is that correct?
Yeah.
Every second.
Right. Are you interested in a friendly amendment to appoint Mike to the position for at least 6 months, and then we'll revisit it, and he can revisit it too. He may decide he doesn't.
Yeah.
he doesn't want to do it anymore. So and we will not hold that against him in any way.
Except for Kid.
Except for him.
At least you know.
Yes.
No, I'm just kidding.
All right.
Just,
Yeah, no, I know.
Okay, so Kelly, you accept that friendly amendment? Okay, all right. Any further discussion? Okay, all right. Do you want to do a roll call?
Supervisor Diamond?
Yes?
Trustee Jones?
yes.
Trustee Horvath?
Yes.
Trustee Maher?
Yes.
Trustee Malik?
Yes.
All right, okay, fine, thank you very much. The next item on our agenda is the approval of a resolution to recognize April as Earth Month. Would you mind reading this?
This is Maine Township Resolution number 2022-4, a resolution to recognize April as Earth Month. Whereas Earth Day was first celebrated on April 22nd, 1970, with the goal of inspiring an appreciation of our nation's natural resources through conservation and protection. And whereas the celebration of this day marks an annual review of and commitment to the principles of that first Earth Day, and whereas Earth Day marks a renewed commitment to environmental stewardship and to the implementation of sustainability efforts, and whereas the global community now faces extraordinary challenges such as environmental degradation, global health issues, climate change, food and water shortages, and whereas a green company can be achieved on an individual level through education, public policy, and consumer activism campaigns, and whereas it is understood that the citizens of the global community must step forward and take action to create positive environmental change to combat the aforementioned global challenges, and whereas Maine Township celebrates Earth Day by extending it to the month of April in recognition of the commitment to environmental stewardship, and whereas Maine Township residents are encouraged to implement practices designed to preserve and protect our environment and shape the future of our environmental security. Therefore, Maine Township does hereby proclaim the month of April 2022 as Earth Month, adopted by the Supervisor and the Board of Trustees of Maine Township, Illinois, on this day.
Actually, do I have a motion to adopt this resolution?
Okay.
I have a quick question. Are we conserving or just conversating? Is that a typographical error? We're not just talking about our days.
Yeah, I was wondering what I was reading.
You read it right, though.
I think it's supposed to be
Is that
conservation.
conservation or
You're
conversation?
right.
Yeah, it threw me off and I was like, oh.
You are correct, and making a change on the official.
We can converse about it.
Yeah, we can talk
That will
about it.
encourage us to do something instead of just proclaiming it.
Okay, I've just made that change. Okay, other than that, any,
I will make a motion to adopt,
okay,
adopt the resolution.
second?
Second,
All right. Roll call.
Supervisor Diamond?
Yes?
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Horvath?
yes.
Trustee Maher?
Yes.
Trustee Malik?
Yes.
All right, so we are actually doing a few things in furtherance of Earth Month. First of all, we're having on the 31st, we're having a prescription drug take-back program in conjunction with the free car light repairs program. If anybody wants to take advantage of this program, they still have openings on their schedule to replace front lights, rear lights. The Sheriff of Cook County is doing this, and they're doing this at no charge. Another thing we're doing is participating in Plastic Bag Drive for Earth Month. And I'm told that we will be getting a box out front in our lobby where you can drop off all types of plastic bags that would otherwise not be recyclable. So I'm looking forward to getting that. Then on April 23rd, we are having, this is a Saturday from 9 to noon, a shredding event at Town Hall. So this is going to be out in the parking lot. And Shred First of Displays is going to be doing the document shredding. So that is one more event. And then finally, on May 11th, we're going to have a free electronics recycling event. So that was extremely popular last year. And if you have anything you want to recycle, I have to urge you to get there early because last year we had to cut off the number of things we could take because so many people did have recycled electronics that they wanted to drop off. So we're all going to do that. We're going to do all those things in support of Earth Month. Our next new business is discussion and circulation of the supervisor's annual financial report. So this is a report that is required by law that has to be filed before the annual town meeting every year. I think it has to be filed at least 2 days in advance. And this financial report has actually been prepared by not our auditor, our accountant that's worked with our township for some time. And I am going to circulate this to everyone for their signature. And I'm not really sure we all have to sign it, but looking back over the past years, I see that everyone has signed it. So I'm going to circulate, as has been done in the past, these reports for everyone's signature. And you've had them, I think. Did you get them in your packet? I'm not sure. Yeah. Okay. All right. So you have those there. So I'm going to send this around so people can sign those. And please do make sure you sign that this evening because it has to be posted a couple of days before the annual meeting. And I did want to say, with respect to the annual meeting, Pete Joannis is going to be running that. I will be sitting in the audience, just enjoying the show.
The clerk's night to shine.
That's right. April 12th, and so it will be a little different from our regular meetings, and we're looking forward to that. So I think you also have lined up a couple of people to serve as moderator. And
we did. I spoke with Andrew Gachkowski, the mayor of Des Plaines, and he's agreed to act as our moderator. And Kurt was nice enough to agree to be our parliamentarian for the evening. And for those of you who haven't been there before, it's a nice event. Usually it's about half an hour, 45 minutes, and it gives us a chance to kind of explain to everybody what we do at the township and introduce them to our employees as well.
Okay. All right, thank you very much. We look forward to it.
And actually, we will have a spot for the supervisor because you will have your report, so we put you in the board, but other elected officials, that's it, in the audience.
See, you're still important.
So,
okay, well, whatever. All right, fine.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. I was going to do my report, but let's do it now.
can you ask for parliamentary?
Oh, he already agreed. I also just wanted to mention that April 8th is going to be Viesha's last day with us after 22, 23 years, is it?
22 and a half.
22 and a half, yeah, that was close. So what I wanted to do was have a lunch here at the township for a little going away party. And then Austin and I were also in talks, because, as well as Karen, because Karen Coleman's going to be retiring as well at the end of the month, but she's agreed to come back on that day as well. So we're going to have a little party for both of you guys, and hope everybody here can make it for some pizza, cake, and salad.
So put that on your calendars if you're available to come. That will be on Friday,
April 8th at 1 p.m.
1 p.m.
Thank you.
So we'll be here, pizza and cake. Okay, all right, so this is actually Vaisha's last meeting doing her official duties. Could I have a motion for a big thank you for Vaisha? Oh, wait, it's not on the agenda. But, well, I don't know if I can make a motion, but I think we all just want to thank you, Vaisha, for your years of service. And, you know, sitting through countless meetings like this. I know they're not fascinating, but you managed to stay awake and take all those notes all those years. So thank you very much for your long-term service to Maine Township.
It was very, very nice to, like, Maine Township was like family to me, really. Most of the time I spend it here. Yes, so for many, many years, like, you know, came to United States in 1990, didn't know, not knowing any language, you know, so, and English, so that's a big, big achievement for me. That's a big thing. So, thank you everybody very much. No. I'm not crying. You cry, not me.
We wish you the best of luck.
I appreciate you. Thank you.
Don't be surprised if Ava or myself call you because you are a go-to.
That's fine too, that's fine too. I had I want you to 5 supervisors, but only 2 clerks and all favor. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Thank you.
All right, well, we're winding up our meeting. Just a few more things and a number of reports, which we will get to. Next thing is discussion and possible approval of part-time position.
I think we missed one. About month.
Oh, you're right. I'm jumping ahead. All right, discussion and possible vote on monthly bill pay meeting. All right, so trustees, if you look in your packet, I included, or maybe it's on your table right here, an email which contains some language from the statute regarding our responsibilities in terms of bills. So I know that the previous board would hold a meeting before the township meeting whereby whereby the trustees would go through the bills. And we've continued that practice, just sort of, I think, out of habit. But the prior board did not do that. And I don't know if any other board had done that in the past. And our clerk was shaking her head, no, nobody did this before the prior board. We do, as statute says, have a responsibility as trustees for auditing the township and road district accounts before any bills are paid, other than general assistance and certain other obligations. But it doesn't really say that we need to do this during a meeting. We can simply look at them ahead of time. I always look at the bills maybe a day ahead of time just because I'm here. So this doesn't actually have to be done during a meeting as long as trustees either come in on maybe the day before or just before the meeting to review the bills. That is acceptable. We don't really have to have a meeting to do this. So I wanted to know what other people thought about this. Did you want to continue doing our bill pay meeting, or just coming in to look at the bills and approve them on your own time? That is, you can do it immediately before, or you can come in at another time.
For me, I would probably just continue to come in at the same time because it's easy, but I don't really see a need to have to do it in a formal meeting.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say as well. I'd like to continue doing what we're doing.
Yeah, but
No special.
All right, so you'd like to come in at the same time, I'm pretty much hearing.
Yeah.
But do you feel it's not necessary to have an actual meeting to do that?
Yes, correct.
Yeah, in the past, we always would just get together and meet in the back room, go through the bills, talk it over, if we had a question. I think the last board's intention was they were, so gung-ho on transparency that they kind of wanted to make it formal, but it's kind of silly. You just sit up there and nothing really goes on, so.
Right. My only caution would be is if everybody's just going to be sitting and reviewing individually, that's fine. If there's going to be a debate or a discussion among the majority of a quorum, that's where we have to worry about a meeting. So that would be my only caution.
Yeah, we would usually, if there's something came up, we would flag it and bring it up during the regular meeting.
Okay, all right. All right, could I have a motion then to eliminate the formal monthly bill pay meeting?
I will make a motion to to eliminate the formal bill pay meeting. Second?
Okay, any further discussion? Okay, have a roll call on that.
Supervisor Diamond?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Horvath?
Yes.
Trustee Maher?
Yes.
Trustee Lee?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Now that you're retired, Brady, should we eliminate this? So. Thanks a lot, right? All right, now discussion of possible approval of part-time position, maintenance department. As some of you know, we do not have a maintenance person other than Mike after 3 p.m. here today, any day. So for some time I thought perhaps we needed an additional staff member to help in the afternoon, and also if Mike's going to be assuming other duties, he will also need a little additional time too. So for that reason, I put on the agenda discussion and possible approval of hiring be part-time, that means up to 19 hours, not necessarily 19 hours, but up to 19 hours part-time position for the maintenance department. Do I have a motion to approve the hiring of a part-time maintenance employee? That would be for afternoons.
Motion to approve the hiring of a part-time position for maintenance department.
Is there a second?
Second.
Any further discussion?
Is Mike involved in that? I mean, is that something that's been discussed with him? Process of who that's going to be? That person's going to work with you, right?
Right, I mean, we haven't interviewed anyone yet.
Oh, I see. He's going to be involved in the process, though?
Oh, yeah,
Okay. Well, that's good. There's one.
right. No, I
There you go. Here.
We-
Delivery. Okay.
We've not posted any position or anything like that, yes.
Would they report to Mike, or would they?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes.
So do we going to post this on our website, this position?
Yes, yes. Now, one thing I would like to do with our website is make it a little bit easier to find open positions. Right now, the OEM position is on the website, but it's a little hard to find. You have to go to government and then documents and then down. And so it is there, but it doesn't jump out. It's not as easy to find as I would like it to be. So that's one of the type of web page improvements I would like to see, so that anyone looking at our web page would easily find any pending open positions.
And if we do now have a LinkedIn account, we can post jobs on LinkedIn, and that is
Right.
an option, and that's a good place
Right.
for a lot of job postings.
Okay, all right. Let's see, did I get a second for that?
Yes.
Okay, all right. Any further discussions? Okay, maybe roll call then?
Supervisor Diamond?
Yes?
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Horvath?
Yes.
Trustee Maher? Trustee Lee?
Yes.
Okay, all right, fine. All right, so we're down to reports now. And I'm going to have one report that I think you'll be interested to hear. Nick, would you step up to the microphone for a minute here? So Nick was a little late to the meeting tonight, but he actually had a good reason to be late this evening. So do you want to tell us what you were doing?
So I was over at Niles Township Town Hall, and Niles Community Church gave a legacy gift. They were basically, their church was closing down, but they're combining with the Park Ridge Presbyterian Church, and they gave us a donation. And I have the check here of a little over $51,000. A special thanks to Jim Oates, Pat Newkirk, and Julie Haley. So I have their information here. I'm sure we'll send them a thank you letter, and just, I mean, it's beyond being nice, and just, I couldn't believe it either. So they helped out not just ourselves and the village now. So
Wow.
Thank you very much. This is the Niles Community Church, is that right?
Niles Community Church, yes.
Niles Community Church. So if they happen to be watching our video, we all want to thank you very, very much.
Okay.
I would have been there myself this evening, were it not for the fact that meeting was exactly at the same time as our meeting. Nick went there instead. Thank you for picking that up, and we'll be sending.
I'm sure they were impressed with that haircut.
Oh, yeah. Exactly.
They had a page inside.
Just beneath the page.
Good looking there.
Thank you very much. All right. Speaking of other Niles organization, last month I mentioned that the Niles Chamber of Commerce has asked us to join them for their Niles Morning Network on April 19th from 7 to 9 a.m. And I'm going to be there, and I would welcome anyone else who can make it and talk about Maine Township. So I think we're going to play the video that we have for the Niles Chamber. But if anyone else would like to be there and talk about what what they do in their offices, or what road commissioner does, or anyone else like to go, I'd certainly welcome someone else. But please let me know if you're able to make it.
What time do you think are, like,
I don't know, it says 7:30 to 9. That's all I know.
What's the
I mean,
date?
It's the Niles Chamber of Commerce.
The date?
Oh, I'm sorry, April 19th. April 19th.
it's a Tuesday, third Tuesday.
So, all right. I have a couple more things, but I want to open up to other official reports. Anyone else would like to make a report? Susan, is there anything you'd like to throw out there about the assessor's office?
Sure, thank you for the opportunity. First of all, I'd like to say something about Piesha. I've worked alongside her for 8 years at least. She runs an efficient office. She's very knowledgeable. Anything, I mean, they're busy putting all the packets together. And it's all together. I never have a mistake in them. It's hard work when you have paperwork coming at you all the time to insert, and everything else that she does. And she's very good with handling residents of Maine Township and actually Cook County because of what she does. So I'm gonna miss her dearly. So good luck to you in the future.
Thank you.
And, be around sometime so we can see you. I'd love to. I was at a meeting with the Cook County Township assessors, and I have information from the Board of Review, Tammy Wentz assistant, that indicates that we will be open for appeals with the Board of Review March 29th. So that's what I have. Once we are open, we'll be open for 30 days. So we have very good indication that that is going to happen. And so we will be busy. There's a lot of people now that have gotten results from the Cook County Assessor's Office, and they're not happy with them. They did not grant any kind of appeal for them. Another thing is our property after death that is taking place on April 28th at the Seville Center. We're filled up. Right now we're just taking Zoom. We have some people actually that if someone drops out, we can call them. We have a standby list and 150 people. Am I correct? Is that the amount? Yes. So Marie said that she'd be so kind to assist and have her staff call some of these people because it is free. Some people, if it's a good day, it's a bad day, they're not coming, whatever, so we can add these other people that are on our waiting list to come to that. So it's a very, very good little seminar. If you haven't signed up for it, if we're able to do it again, you should try to do it. I know one of our trustees and our supervisor are both coming.
Looking forward to it. Thank you for
That's very good. I have it from good authority from the Cook County Treasurer's Office from my meeting with the Cook County Township Assessors that our second installment tax bill is like December.
Wow.
Which is really not great, but the Cook County Assessor is so far behind. I mean, we're just going to be open now for the Board of Review, and we were usually done a long time ago, and this is our triennial reassessment year also. So there's a lot kind of going on. It's going to be a hardship for some people because then March 1st, your bill is due again. So that would be the problem with that. And then there's a lot of, I'm sure that we're kind of covered, but there's other places that depend upon the money from the taxes that will be getting it. And I remember our hardship before I was on the library board in Des Plaines. I don't know how many years ago that was, but we had a situation like that, and everybody was talking about, well, we got to borrow the money to just exist. And the rates were really pretty high at that time. So hopefully we'll survive and like everybody else too. All right, thank you so much.
Thank you very much, Susan.
Okay.
Ed?
Yeah, I'll just be super quick. Hopefully, we'll be going out to bid for our road improvement projects soon. And then I just wanted to wish Viesha the best of luck in your future. I know you kept all of us on task. You made sure that we got things done the right way. And you were the first person that most people see when they walk in the door. So thank you for all your years, and I wish you the best in your future. Thank you.
Thanks.
Just two quick things. First off, as we've talked about before, we do have National Night Out back on track for this year for the first Tuesday in August. I believe it's the 2nd. But anyway, we're going to start with our National Night Out meetings to get everything organized and planned and everything else. So I wanted to officially extend an invitation to those of you that would like to come. It's going to be, our first meeting will be over at the Feldman Center in the Gulf Maine Park District building, and that will be April 18th, Monday at 7 p.m. I'm going to have pizza and pop there for everybody before the meeting starts. Usually go about an hour, and then we usually try and have like one a month, so April, May, June, July, and then the actual event will be in August. So, certainly love to have some fresh blood and fresh ideas from you guys, so I'll send you all an official invitation as well via email, but I just wanted to bring that up to you tonight so you can be aware of it. And then secondly, also just wanted to do a little bragging about my department in Viatia, who's leaving us. But we got something from the director of the Chicago Passport Agency, Sean Loftus, and I'll just read it real quick. It says, "Dear Maine Township, we'd like to take this opportunity to thank Maine Township for its continued passport application acceptance services, and to congratulate your acceptance agents for outstanding achievements in your operation of the passport application acceptance program. The Maine Township is," I don't know why they put "the" in front of it, but Maine Township is part of a small group of passport application acceptance facilities to receive a perfect score on your most recent acceptance facility oversight report. Your acceptance facility oversight inspection included one-on-one interviews with the facility manager, otherwise known as Viatia, virtual inspections of the facility space and secure features, as well as hypothetical scenarios of acceptance agents accepting and executing passport applications from the general public. With almost 700 acceptance facilities in the Chicago Passport Agency region undergoing this rigorous assessment, it is no small feat to be recognized as one of the best. So, just like this says, you are one of the best, Viatia. Thank you for everything. And thank you to the rest of my staff as well. So that's kind of a big deal that we got 100% on that. I know that's not easy. So congratulations, guys.
Maybe our PR firm could pick that up. They got it.
I'll send you a copy. Yeah, we already did.
What night was National Night Out? I think that's our,
The actual event?
Yeah.
It is the first Tuesday in August, which I believe is the 2nd, if I remember correctly. I got too many dates swimming around.
Okay.
Let me check it right now. Yes, Tuesday, August 2nd.
Okay, thank you. All right, now I'm going to turn to Kurt right next to me and ask about the statement of economic interest and what your firm can do to help us make sure that we all fill it out correctly.
Yes. So as the board may know, the statement of economic interest this year changed pretty significantly from prior years. We provided the board a memo with some frequently asked questions on how these new forms are being interpreted and what we think the best way to answer them. We are still anticipating additional guidance from the state, so certainly when we get that, we'll put that out. But our firm is hosting a podcast. It's our Quorum Forum podcast on April 5th at noon, and anybody's welcome to join. You can access it through our website at handsomeflint.com, and we're going to be discussing these new forms and kind of going through those new questions on how the best way elected officials can answer them.
Okay, and we did get your handout, and that's been distributed to the board members. And I should say, the elected officials should get that too. Lisa, would you make sure our department heads get that form too? Sure. If you don't still have a copy of it, let me know, and I'll make sure that
The actual form, like Karen, the SOEI form?
Pardon?
You're talking about the actual form.
The actual form and the question and answer.
Well, this is great, the memo's great. Just
The memo from Ansel Blank too.
Right.
Yeah, okay. All right. A reminder, the Sergeant Karen Lader Memorial Good Citizens Award is going to be coming up. The deadline for submission is April 1st. I think I mentioned this at our last meeting, but there's still time to nominate someone. And I think there's information about that out near the front door, so if you want to pick that up. And then I have just a couple more things, and I'm going to let each one of our other trustees speak. We have a couple more events that are coming up, and one is on, well actually they're both on June 15th. The Secretary of State is going to pull a mobile unit up in our parking lot, so people can renew their driver's licenses in our parking lot, and have various other services too. That's going to be June 15th. That's state ID cards, duplicate license, corrected license, vision screen, vehicle renewal stickers, all that you will be able to get in our parking lot. So I hope that helps a lot of people who have not been able to get inside the Secretary of State office for some time. I don't know if they're all open now, but I think this will help our residents a little bit.
Will they need to make an appointment, or can they just show up?
I believe they can just show up.
Okay.
I didn't hear anything about appointments, I don't know.
I'll be generating a flyer, so I can send this out.
Okay. And on the same day, we're going to have another representative from another state agency, and that is the state treasurer. Some of you may have heard of the, I think it's called iCash program, or iCash. It's where you can find out if you have any money that belong to deceased relatives, or you yourself have accounts that you forgot about, and the state has the records of them. And they can, someone will be here to help you apply to that money if you want their assistance. So I think that'll be one other person who will be there on that date. So that's also June 15th. Okay, I'm going to pass it down the line for any other reports that any of our trustees would like to make.
Okay, I have to add to the fan club. Viesha, we're going to really miss you. And I have to say, Viesha's always been patient with me with FOIAs. Sometimes I'm not as prompt as I should be, or she'd like me to be, but I appreciate your patience. And you've always done such a great job, and we're really going to miss you. But happy for you, and hope you enjoy your retirement. And the other thing is, I want to invite everybody and remind everybody that we have a neighborhood watch meeting April 6th at 7 o'clock. So I hope that our residents will come and join us for that meeting.
Kim, I'll try and make that, but if not, could you let everybody there know about the meeting on the 18th as well for National Night Out?
I will. Thank you.
Oh, and did you want to mention the seminar that you mentioned?
Oh, okay.
You can do it too.
Yeah. So last Tuesday, Supervisor Diamond and I went to a seminar given by Toy in Naperville. It was almost a full day. It was very interesting, and it talked about some general topics, but also some more specific topics related to township governance, and I thought it was very informative. Ansel Blink played a large role in educating us, so it was nice to see fellow trustees and township board members, especially since it's been a long time since we've actually been out and about with public events. So it was great seeing everybody, and learned a lot and enjoyed the day. And thanks for joining me. Inviting me to join you? Okay, that's all I have to say.
I just want to wish Viesha well on her retirement, and to thank you for being so welcoming, and to all of us who are new here and didn't know what we were doing when we got here. And very good. So thank you.
Congratulations also to Lisa and Peter, her supervisor. Another in a long line of examples of employees of Maine Township who do an outstanding job for the salary they get. Just another example that we see over and over again of our employees excelling. Thank you for your service. And also thank you to our lawyer for letting the other lawyers get some credit for this memo that you probably did. So I appreciate it. It's very informative and make that point easier. So thank you again.
Okay, that's it. Yep.
thank you, Tisha, happy retirement.
Thank you.
And I also want to thank you to help me to renew my passport. And I got my passport, so I'm going to Pakistan next month. Thank you. And I also want to announce the date for the Pakistan and Indian Culture Day. So this year will be August 13 and August 14. August 13 will be Indian Culture Day and August 14 will be Pakistan Culture Day.
So in the past, I think some people have said we should talk about things as a board, so I just wanted to see if anyone else wanted to discuss the festival, which Asif is proposing, the 13th and 14th of
13 and 14.
13th and 14th of August. First I want to ask Marie if there are any competing events that week. Okay, all right. And I think this will be an event that really if we go forward with it, really the entire office has to be involved in working on this, not just Marie's part. Marie is in charge of seniors. It's, of course, it's not a senior event. This is everyone in the township is invited to it.
Mostly our senior in that.
It's not strictly a senior event, though. So, did you want to say any more about this festival you're proposing?
I think we can have the board want to make a committee, for these events. If any trustee or anybody want to involve in this event, so they're most welcome. Yeah. And of course, the Pakistani and Indian businessmen are going to support this program. And they always did previously. We also have a support from them, and this year is going to be the same way. Yeah.
All right. Anything else?
Where's it held? Here? In the township? Where's it held? I'm sorry, I didn't get that part.
Yeah, it's going to be here. We will see, we have other option, I'm going to talk to Pete about the depot. Right. So first we see, because the Pakistani last time was a baby man. So we will see, maybe we can Indian do it here and Pakistani we can do it at depot. But let's see first, how it goes,
Okay, so you're looking into Deep Park too?
Depot too, there's a second option, was the.
Okay.
That's where we have National Night Out, and, we do get a majority of our attendees at National Night Out are Indian or Pakistani, not exclusively, but certainly a large portion, so there could even be some cross-marketing there as far as promoting the other events.
We will see how it goes, then we can accordingly make a decision.
Hopefully we'll be ready for the massive crowd that we're going to have at these events. That were so successful, we have a good crowd on that. Had a good crowd last year.
Right. Okay, I was just wondering, have you talked to Deep Park about this? Or
No, we're just
going to talk on April 18, that one.
Pardon?
April 18, we're going to talk. Then we're going to have a meeting with them, so April 18 we will talk to them.
Yeah, Tim from Gulf Maine Park District will be there at the 18th, so we're going to discuss it with him, the possibility about having it there.
All right, so that's the National Night Out meeting,
Correct.
but you're also going to talk about the pet festival.
Yeah, I've been introduced him to,
Okay, all
or
right,
Kevin, I'm sorry, not Tim, Kevin.
okay.
They just switched directors, so I'm getting mixed up. But
All
yeah,
right. So would they be willing to plan it then, Deep Park, the Deep Park staff? If they do it
Possibly.
there? All right, because I just think there's a certain amount of lead time to making those plans, and if they're going to do it, that's fine. But if they're not, I think our staff.
I think more than anything, it'd probably just be more of like hosting than anything else, just like allowing us use of the site. And probably Asif would still be more in charge of the running of it, I would imagine. But, we can have that whole discussion with them.
Yeah, sure.
See what they're willing to do.
Okay.
They always help a lot with National Night Out. I mean, they're truly our partner on that one. So.
Okay. All right. Any other thoughts on that?
Okay, any question on that?
Okay, all right. Anyone have anything else that they wanted to mention? All right, well then may I have a motion to adjourn?
Motion to adjourn? Second.
Supervisor Beck?
Yes.
Trustee Jones?
Yes.
Trustee Horvath?
Yes.
Trustee Macher?
Yes.
Trustee Lewis?
Yes.
Okay, thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you.